Many people around the world are discovering that we are much more than our physical bodies and are wishing to connect to a higher source. Whether it's called God, the universe, or the divine oneness, all names lead to the one that is nameless. Through humor and a sense of wonder, let the Quantum Crew show you how to bring fun back into your spiritual life through the exciting discovery of the secrets of the universe. Have a day of spirituality and joy on us. We're the Quantum Crew. Now, here's Holly Matthews, Apollo, and Coulter Smith.
Welcome. I'm Holly Matthews.
Apollo here. Hello, angels.
Hey, Coulter Smith here.
We are excited to be here, and we welcome you to the Quantum Crew, where three voices, three visions give you a very uncommon conversation. Today, we'll provide you with some information and give you hands-on ways to improve your intuitive abilities.
And folks, we're going to do this by uncovering some of the hidden knowledge and truths about the quantum universe. And we're going to have a whole lot of fun doing it, right? And by quantum, folks, we mean all the new amazing discoveries that scientists are making about the universe that is bridging the gap between science and spirituality. So we're here to give you the tools to help facilitate your spiritual evolution and take your life to that quantum level. So tune in and, get yourself a little high energy love blast, because that's what we got going here every Monday on Seventh Wave Radio. Quantum Crew in the house.
Well said, Apollo. So today, talking about processing emotions, learning how to live a healthier, happier way of living. Holly is going to be our voice today. She'll be the facilitator. And Apollo and I will be interjecting at times to give helpful hints and interesting stories along the way. So processing emotions is massively important for everybody, because today we'll be understanding how to uncover your emotions and why they're so important, how they work, describing empaths, sensitives, the attributes. Holly is amazing at talking about the processing center, learning how to harness and control your emotions, how to process the unpleasant emotions, get them out of your daily lives, importance of protection so the unwanted energies in your life do not infiltrate. It's going to be a very important topic. Benefits. We have so many benefits to learning how to process your emotions, and one that I love in particular is bringing you to higher states of happiness.
Well, that's important, because we all want to be more happy, right?
Absolutely.
As I do.
Learning how to bring abundance in our lives, especially emotionally. It's a great way of learning how to bring in love, bring out light, bring in joy.
Other kinds of abundance other than money.
Exactly.
So yes.
Many ways. Gives insights to the world around you, and learning how to process emotions from the outside in, fine-tuning your sensing abilities to more subtle realms, learning how what others feel and how they feel around you.
Absolutely.
We'll also be talking a little bit about how processing our emotions helps us in our relationships with other people, and how important it is to be able to learn what is us and what is them, so we can have healthy, happy relationships.
So we can learn to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And assisting in emotional clearing and healing, learning how to wash yourself away of maybe in energies that don't serve your highest and best good, and also learning how to process your own emotions to living a healthier, happier way of living it assists you in higher dimensional communication, which is very
talking
interesting.
to your spirit guides, because once you are more in tune with your emotional nature, then you are sensitive to the subtle forces of the universe.
Sure.
And you'll be able to pick up on those
so
things.
much involved in that. It's not even just the spirits guides. It's the universe. It's your higher self. It's your talking to your soul, getting answers. So
everybody, roll your sleeves up, get yourself out of your pajamas, and jump in the shower, get yourself a pen and paper. You're going to want to take notes on this invaluable information that Holly is putting together for you. And if you miss any of it, you can always go to our archives and listen to it over and over again. It's going to be that good.
Excellent. Today what I want to talk about is the fundamentals of emotions. And what I always hear from people who are just beginning this path is they're trying to figure out what's theirs and what's everybody else's. But I think in order to start this process, you've got to learn to define what emotions are. And, of course, the dictionary is going to tell us that emotions are the aspect of consciousness which affects us. And I think the
Yes,
key
it
word
does.
there is affects us. They'll say that emotions are a state of feeling, or another definition is a conscious mental reaction experienced as a feeling and typically accompanied by a physiological and behavioral change in the body.
You know, like anger affects my kidneys. I can always feel when I've been angry or upset, my lower back hurts. So
Oh yeah, when you feel good, your whole autonomic system is working beautifully. When you start to get emotions that are of an unpleasant nature, your autonomic system starts to shut down, especially with fear or some of these the heavier emotions. My description, however, of emotions is they are the frequencies and wavelengths that are constantly in flow around us and through us, and those frequencies and wavelengths give us information about ourselves and also about the world around us. So learning what each frequency is, learning to understand emotions helps you so much. It helps you because our human body expresses ourselves through emotions. If we don't have emotions, we have a very difficult time expressing.
And this is unique in the human species.
Very
because
much so.
Animals are more instinctual, and our emotions allow us to give unique expressions to our individuality. That makes us different than animals. Yeah.
And it gives us information about ourselves, others, and our environment. It goes back to if you feel fear, and maybe Apollo said his kidney was feeling, that tells you something.
It's called a pain in the butt. See that? When you have anger, you get a pain in the butt.
Or a pain in the neck. That's a very powerful
comes from.
indicator.
Yeah.
That you have an emotion of something that is causing you a pain in the neck. So you then ask yourself, who is my pain in the neck?
Yeah, so you can hopefully get rid of it and release it.
Exactly. There's also the duality of emotions. The reason we need them is we need the positive and the negative emotions that help to bring us to expansion. If we didn't have both, we wouldn't grow. So that awareness factor is very important to us. It helps us because it gives us more information than our five senses provide.
And, the thing that's really good about emotions is that they give us information about ourselves and our environment. And, Holly, as we were talking about this before the show, in my psychic development classes, I tell people that we are a society that is much more focused upon our rational being, and by being our rational brain, and by being so, we lose much of the subtext of what life and the universe is and how it can communicate to us in terms of intuitive knowing, because information can come to us through our feeling natures as well as through our thinking. And that's why we need emotions. Emotions is how the right brain thinks.
Wonderfully. Yeah. That's beautifully
right brain
said.
Thinking.
And so many of us now are, because we're so analytical and logical, working that left brain all the time, wanting to figure everything out scientifically or have it proven to us, we are forgetting so much about the right brain. And the right brain is your center for emotions. And as people begin to block their emotions, depression sets in. So that's why we're seeing such a rampant explosion of depression on, especially here in the United States. It is because we're suppressing the emotions. We're denying what our body is telling us is going on around us. Something in our environment isn't working right. Something in our relationships, something in what we're doing to our own selves isn't working right. So the body manifests in depression. It's all about getting in tune with the emotions, becoming more genuine and true to yourself, honoring yourself, loving yourself, and truly addressing what is going on. When you do this, there is such a beautiful sense of freedom that happens.
This is the thing about the return of the goddess that a lot of us are hearing about in spiritual circles, because everyone needs to balance their female side, and it's the female side of the brain, which is the right brain. And that's one of the reasons why the goddess principle needs to be brought back into our society. That female nurturing, empathic, emotional side of ourselves needs to be expressed and needs to be a part of our committee that analyzes what reality is.
The emotions give us information.
Yep.
If we're denying our emotions or pushing them down, we're missing out on the information it's trying to help us.
It's like how we've repressed women in society, and we've repressed our emotions. They go hand in hand. So we're seeing symbolically the revival of the emotional nature within humanity, as represented by the female principle.
I have clients come in quite often, and they'll be discussing their depression levels, and almost always you can ask the question, well, what is it you're trying not to feel?
Right.
And then they have to get in tune with what it is they're trying not to feel. And almost every time they're living a life that doesn't support them. They're living a life for everybody else. They're living a life that is ingenuine and untrue to who they really are. And until they get in alignment with that, you can take drugs all you want to numb you and try to keep those emotions from coming up. But the
all
strong
drugs? No drugs? Okay.
drugs.
All right.
You're cut off.
Okay. I love my pharmacist. He's my buddy.
Yeah, and learning how to process emotions is it's important because it speaks to you. The emotions speak to you, but could we agree or disagree that in our world it's sometimes very hard to allow certain energies in, to block them out. Sometimes fear, for instance, might set in. There's so much fear around us that, it's learning how to become this conduit, to only allowing love and light through, to blocking off the negativity. And, I always hear that funny quote that the kids always talk about is, I'm rubber, you're glue, everything bounces off me.
Did you write that, Coulter?
I was, we were planning for the show, and that thought just came to my head all the time. It's, I'm rubber, you're glue.
I also hear people come in and they'll say, well, I'm just trying to stay away from all negativity. I'm just trying to block it all out. Well, from the negative, actually, you can grow. It's not like we're saying you can't live in the environment because it has unpleasant attributes to it. It's learning how to become more neutral about those unpleasant attributes. That helps you to learn to live happy. We do have an environment of toxicity that we live in, and so we're just learning to make the very best of it. And that's what's going to give you some really great ideas.
And most people, when they confront things in their life, they always say, well, what do I think about it? But how do you feel about it?
Yeah.
This is one of the things we need to get more used to as a society, as a humanity.
Yeah, and more times than not now, there's people coming into the world that are very empathic, and they need these skills. They need to learn how to do this so they can control their emotions, control their life.
I love this conversation we're having.
I got some answers for you. I definitely have some answers for you.
Looking forward to those.
Coming back, we're going to get in the meat and potatoes of everything.
You're going to love this, folks.
Learning how to descriptions of what an empath, a sensitive person really is. Learning how to protect yourself against unwanted energies. Applications to releasing the unpleasant energies in your daily life. Lots in store. Stick around. We're the Quantum Crew. We'll be right back.